What's up, you guys? Welcome back again to the Crest of Courage card game channel. Today I've got yet another upgrade for the Metalgarurumon deck for you guys. This time a blue base version. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Alright, so starting us off with the eggs, I am playing three copies of Sunomon. And the reason for that is we're actually just playing the one copy that is allowed of Bukamon. Of course, he has the amazing inheritable effect that your turn, while your opponent has no Digimon with more Digivolution cards than this Digimon gains jamming. So that's super useful in this deck. We're doing a lot of attacking security, and you know, we don't have like super crazy high DP, so the jamming is super useful. But then the Sunomon has this other great inheritable effect that when one of your Digimon effects adds cards to your hand, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. So it keeps it throughout your turn and your opponent's turn, and we have a lot of effects in this deck that will add cards to our hand to get that plus 1000. So of course the main reason we're running 3 instead of 4 with the 5th egg is just that we want to be able to see the jamming egg. We want to actually have more odds of, you know, getting to it. I've even seen some people just play 2 of the Sunomon and 1 of the Bukamon. In my opinion, I like to have at least 4 eggs. There are some games I do see the 4th egg, so I just like that for my personal playstyle. But if you want to go to 3 and try it that way, or even go up to 5, that's totally up to you. This is what I personally think is good, though. So on to our level 3s, and one thing I want to point out here is that I am playing 13 rookies. I am actually playing 1 more of every single level than what is kind of like the average. So normally I'd play 12 rookies, 10 champions, 8 ultimates, 6 megas. So for this one I'm actually running 13 rookies, 11 champions, 9 ultimates, and like 7 megas, and 2 level 7s on top of it. So we have a ton of Digimon taking up a lot of space in this one, but I'll go through my process here kind of as to why. So I do really like this EX1 Gabumon as just a simple one of. It does have the effect of when attacking once per turn, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Tamer card or 1 Digimon card with Gabumon in its name among them to your hand, and place remaining cards at the bottom of your deck. So it's just a really nice inheritable to be able to search and get some more rookies out. And we do have a ton of Gabumons here, so and a good amount of Tamers as well. So it's pretty easy to get something off of that when attacking effect. And then we also have, of course, 4 of the new BT15 Gabumon, who has the awesome start of your main phase effect that one of your Digimon gains a blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. And then if you have a Tamer with Matt Ishida in its name, draw 1. So really great if you already have a Matt out, you just get an extra draw at the start of your turn. And then the when attacking effect to draw 1 once per turn is actually amazing as well. And then we also have 4 of the old BT5 Gabumon. No inheritable, but does have the simple on-play effect to reveal the top 3 cards of our deck, add 1 card with Gabumon in its name and 1 card with Omnimon in its name, and the bottom deck the rest. So just a simple searcher Gabumon there. It can search a ton of cards in our deck. Like I said, we got +1 at every level, so it's really easy to get something off of that effect. And then playing 3 of the old BT9 Gabumon X Antibody, who has the ability to Digivolve for 0 on our Gabumons, and has on play and when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Garurumon or Omnimon in its name, and 1 X Antibody among them to your hand, and place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So just, again, another good search effect. Plus, just Digivolving on top of our Gabumons does speed up our draw power that much more. In fact, I would say you could swap this Gabumon out for a 4th copy of this if you really wanted to. Honestly, either way is pretty much fine there. And then we do have 1 copy because it's about to be limited. By the time I post this video, it might already be limited. But anyway, it does Digivolve for 0 on a Gabumon, which is great, or a Sunomon, which is also nice. But you can also Digivolve it for 1 on your eggs if you would like to. But it also has on play and when Digivolving to reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 2 cards with Garurumon or X Antibody in their name among them to your hand, and then place the rest of the bottom of your deck. And then if you added cards, trash 1 card in your hand. So this is really great. Obviously, you can potentially get 2 cards off of it pretty easily, and then just have to trash 1 card. And then the inheritable here is amazing that All turns, once per turn, when this Digimon with Garurumon or Omnimon in its name would be deleted in battle by returning 2 non-Digi-Egg cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck. Prevent that deletion. So very, very powerful card. But that is going to do it for our level 3s. All right, and on to the level 4s here. So again, I have just one-off extra here where we're just playing one of the BT5 Garurumon who has 1 Digivolving. If you have a Gabumon in its Digivolution cards, gain 1 memory. So it's a really cheap Digivolution if we need it. And the all turns inheritable for if it's got Garurumon or Omnimon in its name, plus 1000 DP. Again, that's just really nice to have. To be honest, you could probably take another one of these Garurumons out and bump this guy up to 2. I think that would be fine. He has been working out great for me as a one-of, but, you know, if you wanted to bump him up, I think it'd be worth it. And then we have 3 copies of the promo Garurumon here, who just simply has the inheritable for when attacking. If this Digimon has Garurumon in its name, trigger draw 1. It's not once per turn, mind you, so we do have several effects that let us unsuspend on our higher level Digimon. So with him under you, you could be easily drawing 2 or 3 or 4 cards off of just one of your stacks. So it's really nice to be able to pull that off. But then we also have 3 copies of the new BT15 Garurumon, and he has when Digivolving. If you have a Tamer with Matt Ishida in its name, draw 1. If you don't have a Tamer with Matt Ishida in its name, you may play 1 Tamer with Matt Ishida in its name from your hand with the play cost reduced by 3. So in most cases, that'll be free or at least like a 1-cost Tamer. And it is great to just Digivolve into this, and, you know, even if you're already going over on your opponent's side, you still could play a free mat just for like 0 or 1. So there's a ton of value to this Garurumon. It also has when attacking once per turn, draw 1, which is great to have. And then next up, we are playing 3 copies of the old BT9 Garurumon X, who just Digivolves for 0 on a Garurumon, and has the inheritable that all turns, when this Digimon with Garurumon or Omnimon in its name would be deleted in battle, you may trash 2 cards of the same level in this Digimon's Digivolution cards to prevent that deletion. So it's just a cheap way to be able to stay alive in battle. You know, if we check some security and it's too strong for us, you can easily trash that and one of your other same level Digimon to stay in the fight, which is really great. And then we also have 1 copy of the Garurumon X Antibody from EX5, which of course, again, is being limited to 1. And otherwise, we would definitely play 4 of it. So it can Digivolve on a Garurumon for 0. When Digivolving, draw 2, then trash 2 cards in your hand. So great, you know, draw 1 for the Digivolve, draw 2 from its effect, then trash 2. And if you have a Garurumon or X Antibody in its Digivolution cards, you get to gain a memory. So you're actually gaining the memory for Digivolving. You're actually ending up, you know, higher memory than when you started, and you're getting the Digivolve and all that draw power. It's absolutely nuts. And, you know, even if you just have like a Gabumon, you could throw an X Antibody under it and Digivolve it for 2, essentially, because you'd gain the 1 back. So that's pretty nice too. Actually, Digivolving this thing on this Garurumon after it gains you memory back is pretty crazy because, you know, you just gain so much memory and you just get such cheap Digivolutions. It's wild. But then it also has the same inheritable as the EX5 Gabumon X Antibody. So if it has Garurumon or Omnimon in its name and it would be deleted by battle, you can return 2 non-Digi-Egg cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck to prevent that deletion. So again, just more ways to save ourselves in battle is great. So yeah, all in all, I've been loving this lineup. Like I said, if I would change anything, I'd probably bump down one of these to add in another one of these, because these are really nice to have for that cheaper Digivolution. But this has been working out for me fine so far regardless. All right, moving right along to our level 5s here. A lot of one-offs here. I will give you that, but there's just a lot of limited Garurumon cards, unfortunately. So yeah, we are playing one of the promo Where Garurumon, who does have when attacking once per turn. If this Digimon has Garurumon in its Digivolution cards, unsuspend this Digimon. So easy unsuspend there, just for having any of our Garurumons in the Digivolution cards. So of course, super easy to unsuspend. Almost all of our level 4s are just Garurumon. It is looking for specifically Garurumon though, so if you only have Garurumon X Antibody in its Digivolution cards, it won't get the unsuspend, but that's pretty unlikely to happen. But then it has a super great inheritable effect that while you have 8 or more more cards in your hand, this Digimon gains security attack +1. Very easy to have 8 or more cards in your hand with this deck. As you may have noticed, all the searching and draw 1 inheritable effects, we get a lot of draw power out of this deck, so not too hard to stay at the 8 threshold to get that security check. I'm also playing one of the Digimon Ace, and I was just going to try this guy out. I didn't think I was really going to keep him, but I gotta say, he's not bad. I think he's a great one of, and has really come in clutch on more than one occasion, so I've considered bumping him up to 2, because he's, you know, like I said, he's really good, but I feel like just one of is enough. You know, like I said, we do have a lot of draw power. We can see him when we need to see him usually. So yeah, he does have the hand counter blast Digivolve effect, as all the aces do, so you can get the free Digivolve when they attack you. And then you have on play or when Digivolving, draw 1. Then if you have 5 or more cards in your hand, trash 1 card in your hand. And then alterns once per turn, when one of your Digimon effects adds cards to your hand, one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers can't suspend until the end of their turn. So that's really good to stop something from attacking you altogether. Or stop something from blocking you. Plus, just being a 4-cost, a hard play can sometimes come in handy. But then we have one copy of Digimon Sagittarius mode, who can just Digivolve for 0 on any Digimon, and name is also treated as Digimon, so that's really nice for our X-Antibody. It also has when Digivolving, if you have a Tamer in play, return 2 of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its owner's hands, which can be nice for kind of cleaning up, you know, if your opponent is just playing a bunch of Digimon like crazy, maybe they got a bunch of annoying floodgates, whatever, you know, just get them out of the way. Really, though, I just like being able to throw this on one of my Digimons, you know, get that extra draw from the Digivolve for 0, and it has the same inheritable as the old Garurumon X-Antibody, that if this Digimon has Garurumon or Omnimon in its name, and it would be deleted by battle, trash 2 of the Digivolution cards with the same level from the sources to prevent the deletion. So it just gives us another layer of protection on top of everything else. And then, of course, we're playing 3 copies of the starter deck, where Garurumon, who can Digivolve on any level 4 with Garurumon in its name for a cost of 3, so we don't need to worry about the, you know, purple cost there. And then it has when attacking once per turn by trashing 1 card in your hand, unsuspend this Digimon. Of course, you love to see that. Get that double swing from the level 5 is really good. And also the inheritable when attacking once per turn by trashing 1 card in your hand, delete 1 of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Again, really good just to kind of clean up some low-level threats there on your offense that, you know, maybe they're not suspended, doesn't matter, you can kind of still just get rid of them. And then we're playing 3 copies of the new Digimon X-Antibody from EX5, finally one that isn't limited to 1. And in my opinion, this one's much better than the older X-Antibody Digimon, although you could play that one if you wanted to, because it does Digivolve for 0 on Digimon, whereas this one Digivolves for 1 cost, which can be annoying sometimes. But it's worth it in my opinion, because it does have the effect when Digivolving by trashing 2 cards in your hand, unsuspend this Digimon. And then if you have Garurumon or X-Antibody in its Digivolution cards, you may return 1 Digimon with Garurumon or X-Antibody in its name from your trash to your hand. So most likely you're just trashing 1 card essentially, or trashing 2 and then getting something else you needed back, which can be really nice. And then it has the inheritable effect here, which, you know, the old X-Antibody unsuspended when Digivolving 2, so you could cut one of these, I would say, for one of those, if you wanted to have a lot of one-ofs. You know, it's still useful, but in my opinion, what makes this one better than the old one is this inheritable. When attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has Garurumon or Omnimon in its name, by trashing 1 card in your hand, unsuspend this Digimon. So it gives us an unsuspend on our higher levels, which is really nuts. And just, you know, really comes in clutch a lot of the time. One of my favorite combos to do is, you know, we swing twice with this guy, we go into this one, trash 2 cards to unsuspend, then we Digivolve into the Metalgarurumon Ace, which we'll take a look at in a second, who can trash 3 more cards from our hand to gain 3 memory, so basically Digivolves for 0. and then it can swing, trash another card in our hand to unsuspend him, and then swing again, and then we can go into our Metalgarurumon X, who can unsuspend himself and finish off the game that way pretty much, because that's already at least 4 checks. So yeah, just the fact that this guy unsuspends himself and gives our level 6s and above an unsuspend when attacking effect as well means you're getting just a whole extra attack out of him versus the old BT9 Garurumon. So for that reason, I do like him a little bit more. All right, moving on to our level 6s, I'm playing 2 copies of the Metalgarurumon Ace, which in my opinion is still like the best ace ever. It does Digivolve for 3 on any level 5 with Garurumon in its name, so we don't need to worry about the purple cost again. Hand Counter Blast Digivolve for that free Digivolution on your opponent's turn is very good with his when Digivolving effect, because by trashing up to 3 cards in your hand, gain 1 memory for each card trashed. So on your turn, he can essentially Digivolve for 0 if need be, or on your opponent's turn, if they attack into you and they have less than 3 memory, you can just end their turn right then and there, which is very powerful because you can usually just turn it around and win on the next turn. And on top of that, he also has when attacking once per turn, by trashing 1 card in your hand, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. And that's actually really good with the Weregarumon's effect, because with that effect, you can trash a card to delete the level 4 or lower, and then you can use this effect to trash another card in your hand to delete their lowest level, which, once you've deleted a 4 or lower, could be a 5, 6, whatever. So you can get a ton of deletion there if need be, if you're not already going to win the game on that turn. But then next up, we have the amazing new BT15 Metalgarurumon, and this guy is absolutely nuts. So again, Digivolves for 4 costs on any level 5 with Garurumon in name, so we don't need to worry about the blue cost there with our purple Weregarurumons. But it also has the effect here that when you have a Tamer with Matt Ishida in its name, and your opponent has a 10,000 DP or higher Digimon, one of your Gabumons may Digivolve into this card in your hand for a Digivolution cost of 4, ignoring the Digivolution requirements. So we get the Warp Digivolve. Finally, we can have our Gabumon Warp Digivolve into Metalgarurumon. And this guy is great. For one, he has Evade, so he can suspend himself to prevent being deleted. And on top of that, he has when Digivolving, 3 of your opponent's Digimon and Tamers can't suspend until the end of their turn. Very powerful. You can't be blocked, essentially, by 3 things. There's 3 things that can't attack you. It's just crazy how strong that is. And then on top of that, he has all turns once per turn. When this Digimon becomes suspended, unsuspend it. Basically, you get 2 attacks with him every turn. If he gets blocker from our Gabumon and, warp Digivolving into him, you could block twice, which, that's assuming they have more than 3 Digimon to even attack with. Or if he would be deleted, he can, suspend himself twice with Evade, so he can protect himself twice with Evade, which is just so awesome. This card is absolutely nuts. Everything that it can do is just too good, honestly. And then we've also got 2 copies of the Metalgarurumon X Antibody from BT9, who can Digivolve for 1 on a Metalgarurumon. And when Digivolving, you can unsuspend this Digimon, and it gains a blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. And then it has your turn once per turn. When this Digimon becomes unsuspended, if it has Metalgarurumon or X Antibody and its Digivolution cards, return all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level to its owner's hands. So you can just, pretty much clear the board if they're all the same level, or just get rid of 1 or 2 low-level Digimon. It's also just nice, and it's blocker, so if you do happen to go over and, you're Digivolving that for 1, it'll unsuspend, and you'll at least have a blocker. Or if it doesn't end your turn, you just get another attack with it, which is the main thing that's there for. And then on top of that, last but not least, we also have 1 copy of the brand new from EX5 Metalgarurumon X Antibody, who again can Digivolve for 1 cost on a Metalgarurumon, has blocker normally just all the time, so that's nice, and then has the when Digivolving effect if it has Metalgarurumon or X Antibody in its Digivolution cards. Until the end of your opponent's turn, all of their Digimon gain when attacking lose 4 memory, so it's like a super Ice Wall effect. You get to block, and they probably won't be able to attack again. That'll probably end their turn right there. But you also have when attacking, by returning one Digimon card from your trash to the bottom of your deck, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the same level as that card. So again, just more when attacking, deleting stuff. This one is just a one-of here because it's more defensive. I don't really go into it as often. You know, if I had the choice, I'd rather go into this one, but occasionally you might need this one. So for that reason, I'm playing one of it. But that pretty much does it for our level 6s. All right, and then I do have 2 level 7s. Of course, we have the old Blitz Omnimon from BT5. For that classic when Digivolving, unsuspend, when Digivolving Blitz to get that final attack in for game. And also has that all turns effect that you can trash a level 6 from its Digivolution cards to prevent it from being deleted or leaving the battle area, which doesn't really come up because you're literally just playing that to end the game. And then also one copy of the X Antibody Omnimon, who can Digivolve for 3 on an Omnimon. And if it's Digivolving on something that has the X Antibody in its Digivolution cards, then you can reduce the cost by 2. So you could Digivolve on an Omnimon for 1 if it also has the X Antibody under it. But when Digivolving, you return all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level to the bottom of their owner's deck in any order. And then has the when Digivolving and when attacking effect that once per turn, by placing one X Antibody or a level 6 Digimon from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of its owner's deck, you can reveal all of your opponent's security cards, trash one card among them, and then shuffle the rest and put them back. So what you really want to do here is you pretty much just want to have X Antibody under your stack. You Digivolve into Omnimon, who unsuspends, Blitz attacks, and then you can Digivolve into this Omnimon X Antibody, who can then trash something from its sources to trash one of their security and get that last attack in for game. So it just kind of adds on to that whole effect there if they happen to have one security left. Also, you can just go straight into this guy as kind of another form of control by returning all of their highest level Digimon to the bottom of their deck. And on top of that, it's a 16k DP that could potentially be in our security. So yeah, honestly, you could, still swap that out for just a second Blitz Omnimon, or you could swap out the EX5 Metalgarurumon for another Blitz Omnimon as well. I think either way, that would be fine if you wanted to up your chances of seeing this guy. But like I said, we do have so many draw and search effects. It is pretty easy to get both of these in our hands if need be. All right, onto our Tamers, and I'm running just a 2-2-2 split here of Cool Boy, the new mat, and the starter deck mat. You could drop the Cool Boys if you wanted to either bump this mat up to 4 or both of them up to 3. I think that would be fine, but I do like Cool Boy still. He is only a 2 cost to, on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add a Digimon with X Antibody in its traits, and an option with X Antibody in its traits among them to the hand, and bottom deck the rest. And then, of course, your turn, when one of your Digimon Digivolves into a same level Digimon with X Antibody in its traits, you may suspend this Tamer to gain a memory and draw a card. So he's just very valuable. We have so many X Antibodies Digivolving. We're going to get a lot of memory and draw a lot of cards from his effects. And then, of course, we also have the new mat for 3 costs on play. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Gabumon or Garurumon in its name among them to the hand, and return the rest to the bottom of the deck. And then your turn, when one of your Digimon effects adds cards to your hand, by suspending this Tamer, gain 1 memory. So we have so many draw and search effects that we'll get that memory gain quite often. And then, last but not least, of course, we have the starter deck mat here, who has start of your main phase. If you have 2 memory or less, set it to 3, so he's our memory setter. And all turns, when one of your effects trashes a card in your hand, by suspending this Tamer, gain 1 memory. So this is actually really great to have for both of the aces, the Weregarurumon and the Metalgarurumon. They both end up trashing a card in your hand. So if you have him out all turns, you can suspend him to gain a memory from that. So in the right situation with the Weregarurumon ace, you can end up ending their turn because of the mat here. And, if you don't want to trash 3 cards in your hand, or sometimes you trash 3 cards in your hand and you suspend him with the Metalgarurumon ace to gain 4 memory to end your opponent's turn, even if they're at 3, which can be pretty nuts. But this has been working pretty well for me so far, so that's it for the Tamers. Last but not least, I'm just playing 2 copies of X Antibody. So of course this has the effect for when attacking, you can Digivolve into an X antibody in your hand for the cost, which is great to kind of cheat a level if you need to. And of course, if it comes up in security, you get to gain a memory and add it to your hand, so that can be kind of funny sometimes too. You could try out the Protoform. I think this one's a little bit better personally, but the Protoform, is not bad either. It can get you into the Metalgarurumon X antibody for, one less cost, which is really nice. So if you really wanted to, you could also maybe just do a 1-1 split here, do one of each of them. Besides that, you could also use a couple maybe of the blue trainings. Personally, I didn't want to use them because I am playing a lot of all white and all purple cards that I felt like, it'd be pretty bad to bottom deck some of those at the wrong moment. But, if you switch up a few things here, you could definitely play some of those training cards. They are very good. But I feel like having the extra Digimon, you really find what you need pretty quickly. And we already have so many search and draw effects that, it doesn't really come up that often. I haven't really had that many issues with it yet. So yeah, currently I'm just running 2X antibodies, and that's been fine. So that about wraps it up for this deck profile. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions about it in the comments below. I will say there are a lot of one-offs in this deck. Part of that is my own fault for just throwing a few extra one-offs in there, but I think that's one of the beauties of this deck now. There are so many great cards that are limited to one. You just throw in a few other one-ofs and it doesn't really make a difference. You just have a ton of options available at your disposal at any given time, because there is a ton of search power and there is a ton of draw power, so it's not too hard to see what you need to see when you need to see it. And if you stumble upon one of those extra pieces along the way that, might be better in any given situation, I think it's pretty powerful, actually. I think it, just gives you that much more flexibility during the game, and I personally enjoy that a lot. But like I said, let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. And if you guys enjoyed this video or got anything out of it, make sure you smash that like button. It does help me out a lot. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. But that's going to do it for this one, you guys. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.